Hi there, this is Zoe Nightingale, and you're listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's Creative Voice.
It's cold in this neck of Ohio tonight, and the style is right for a sad winter song. I feel lost like a speck in a pile out of sight, and though I try with all might, I just don't feel that strong. As we walk through a field trekking on snowy dirt, my eyes start to hurt trying to see you smile. And we talk about fears making our story short. You are scared to get shot, your bravery goes for miles. And there's more miles to go as we walk the train tracks. I think we lost the rain back in the woods we just hiked. And the store signs can glow as you walk sidewalk cracks. I think we lost the town back trading street lamps for kites. The nursery and all of the trees crossed over the dark. And some old parking lots hold my whimpering thoughts, and I'm on the next train. You and me, can't you see what this means? In the light of a torch, realize nothing is forced, nothing is forced.
Hey guys, welcome to Nursery Podcast. This is Lee Boyle with my friend
Mindy Strawn.
and we're about to do something that we don't normally do on this episode, which is this. We're going to do a commentary for you guys. I know nobody asked for it, and I know it's kind of ridiculous, but we're going to watch the episode 2 of season 3 of Friends called...
Wait, what's this one called?
The one
where no one's ready.
I know you know. It's somewhere in there because you're
Sorry.
a Friends buff. No, it's fine. You're fired. So what we're going to do is, before we start it, just for a very brief moment, we're going to talk about Ross and Rachel and Joey. Mm-hmm. People at home, if you're listening, hashtag on Twitter, my handle is Nursery Podcast. Hashtag Ross and Rachel, or hashtag Joey and Rachel. If you agree with Mindy, Joey and Rachel. If you agree with me, Ross and Rachel. Now, Mindy, what do you think about Rachel and Joey?
All right, here's the thing. I know that we're all sappy about Ross and Rachel, and that there were 10 seasons, and they were like together, not together, they had a baby, and the whole thing. But I just feel like it was a dick tease. Excuse my language, but it was a dick tease when they did the whole thing with Rachel and Joey, because I actually think they're perfect for each other, because they're like best friends, and they have this super silly, like, wonderful companionship, and he's always there for her, and they're really comfortable with each other, and you don't ever really see them like fighting about stuff. And it just really disappointed me that they, like, I don't know, I kind of think Ross is kind of like a hack.
Yes.
He's a card.
I agree with you
yeah.
about like that. I kind of think Ross and Rachel are both hacks, and that's why they belong together. But I'm with you though about Ross especially. I mean, my God.
My God.
Yeah. And we were on a break thing. That's fine, whatever, Ross. I'm not like against you saying that, but just the way you act is weird, Ross. It's just weird.
Well, he did a lot in the episode we're gonna watch. Mm-hmm. He's a dick in this episode.
In my eyes, he's me, and I don't think that. I think everyone else are jerks in the episode. That's why you and me are good for this commentary, because I feel for the first time I ever saw it when I was young, I only felt sorry for Ross the entire time.
I do sympathize with Ross in this episode because I hate being late to things. So, like, I get it, but he yells at her in front of everyone. And if a man spoke to me like that, I would just cry, and I would be very, I don't know. I don't know,
And then my rebuttal to the original, who should Rachel be with, is she got off the plane. No, I'm just kidding. I think
she did, though.
She did get off the plane. Spoiler alert. I guess I should say that before I say that. Spoiler alert, she did get off the plane. I think that Joey and Rachel didn't fight because they didn't have time to. And I think Ross and Rachel fought because...
What do you mean they didn't have time to?
They didn't get there.
They were roommates.
They were too awkward. They didn't talk like they were supposed to.
No, the writers didn't write in time for them to fight.
Well, that's true. I mean, the writers didn't have them fight. And in my head, that's why it was only a fantasy.
Well, and I think you and I look at relationships differently.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be with someone that's like my best buddy and my partner in crime, and you think that fighting all the time is super healthy, right? Right? Am I allowed to say that?
You can say that. I mean, I don't think fighting all the time is super healthy.
I feel like that's what you said recently.
I just like when people can fight.
Yeah. Well, and I think Rachel and Joey can fight, and they have...
I don't think they can. I don't think they can
they've
fight.
had several silly little disagreements, but it was never like... No, they never hurt each other's feelings. I think that's what I like about them, is that, they've had arguments during the 10 seasons of the show and stuff, but they were always, like, for the most part, kind to each other, and Ross is a dick.
Fair enough. Okay.
Although I do think he's, like, one of the funniest people on the show. Like, he's hilarious, Ross.
He is funny, especially in the late episodes, I guess, when he kind of tries to be Jerry Seinfeld or whatever he's doing there with it. Not Seinfeld, but whatever. He kind of gets all slapsticky and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in this episode in particular, there's this, I'm not going to say ripoff, it's not a ripoff, but there's a Seinfeld-esque moment. You left the chair area and all that. Very Seinfeld-esque. But anyways, if you're at home, and I know no one's going to do this, but if you're at home and you're about to watch it along with us, as we provide a colorful commentary to the one where no one's ready, what you're going to want to do is open up your Netflix or your DVD thingy and get ready, episode 2, season 3, and press play in 3. It's not working.
Also, I'm drinking vodka, so join me.
3, 2, 1, and press play now. Okay, so we open on Joey digging around in the fridge.
Oh, we're gonna we're not gonna
totally narrate, but we're just gonna kind of say our observations as they come.
He just drank the fat, and Chandler knew that it was fat.
And so that's kind of funny. Ross comes in already in a bad mood. Nobody's dressed. He's upset about this.
Actually, they do have to leave in a half hour, and that is kind of ridiculous that nobody's dressed. I would kill everyone.
Now you're talking my language. Yeah.
I would kill everyone in my life.
I know, man. Ross has the right to be a little bit of a douchebag in this episode, but
not overall.
Okay, I see that. Here comes Rachel in her bathrobe. Ross tries to cheerily say, "You're not dressed."
Can I just talk about how beautiful and wonderful and just a special unicorn that I think Jennifer Aniston is, and how hard I would do her?
Yeah, dude. Mindy says this is Rachel and Ross kind of canoodle, and Joey drinks some more fat, or smells the fat, I believe. So the charm of this episode is that it's what the insiders refer to as a bottle episode. So
What the hell does that mean?
Just all takes place in one setting. Some people revere good sitcom writers for being able to do something like this. So I think that's why this episode has always rung true for us as like an example episode, because it's like, man, you just get to see their personalities.
Yeah, people love this episode.
Right.
And
I think
it's
it's
really
'cause it's a bottle.
slapsticky. It's very like...
Yeah. And the only time it goes outside of it is, after the credits or whatever.
Very end with the chair thing.
Yeah, you left the chair area. So, anyways, right now
Get
the
out
credits
of the
are.
chair, dill hole.
Yeah, the credits are running. I'll be there for you. Blah 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 blah. When the rain starts to pour, Joey has a mustache. He's sarcastic. That's his thing. Ross, he's kind of cute, but he's the more serious one.
He's really good at
narrating thing.
Narrating everything.
Joey, he's more the goofball. Not a lot of brains, but hey, his heart's in the right place.
And he's kind of gets with a lot of women.
Yeah, he's a stud is what he is. He's kind of an out-of-work actor sometimes, but he makes up for it in his charm. Mm-hmm. They're all friends. So anyways, they're hanging out here. Ross is kind of still...
They're eating hummus, which is a foreshadow.
Yeah, just remember the hummus, everyone.
Don't forget about the hummus.
Don't forget about this, because we know this is your first
here comes
time.
Phoebe.
Oh, Phoebe's coming in with the dress.
Speaking of the hummus.
She's actually, she's dressed. She's the only one that's dressed. Can I just say...
Yes, you can.
Okay, good. And then one other thing I wanted to add. When I was younger, I didn't get Phoebe. Now, I love her. I love her. She's awesome.
You mean that sincerely, right? Like
I'm not kidding.
You didn't get her when you were younger?
No, I was like, get out of here, Phoebe.
You know what's funny is that when I was... See, this is
you
when
liked her.
When I was younger, I was like, she's like me. Like, I thought I was... And people would say, you remind me of Phoebe when I was in, like, 6th grade, which that's ridiculous anyways. But people... And I had the blonde hair, and I was goofy and stuff. But, like, now I'm like, Phoebe's kind of an asshole. Like,
that's how I felt when I was young. I was like... What is this person in this show for? I don't care.
Like, I love her,
but now she's
I
like
feel
the
opposite that I used to.
Now you don't notice her as much. Well, she's the equivalent of Adam West on Family Guy for me now. She's like the fourth wall breaker. Oh, here's the part. Okay, Joey's in the chair. Chandler is mad at Joey for being in the chair. Look, you guys, it doesn't matter, Ross says, because you both have to go
they
get
gotta
dressed.
get dressed.
Yeah. Before a big vein in my head pops. He's trying to be nice. Ross is so good at being nervous and angry and nice at the same time.
But the two boys are just, like, concerned about the... And here
comes
Monica.
Fun fact for the listener. Courtney Cox and Matthew Perry in real life have been seen together and reported to be dating. Nothing serious.
And I am flipping out about it.
Dude, I hope it happens. I'm usually not one to get starstruck and fantasize into these things, but I really hope it works out for the couple. It's like this is like a little golf commentary.
Oh no.
Monica's holding the fat. She said, has somebody been drinking my fat? Joey says, shh, don't tell her.
Oh, and here comes Rachel, my angel.
Is this something a girlfriend of paleontologist would wear? Kind of a funny line now to me. I used to not really notice that, but it's kind of funny. This outfit makes my calves look fat. Never mind.
God.
Classic Rachel.
So, like, 90s, like, women being like, ugh, my body looks fat. And she's, like, gorgeous.
She is, right.
She's, like, so beautiful.
And so they're hanging out. The chair fight's still going on. Everybody's kind of trying to get dressed. Maybe,
he's
eating hummus.
He's eating hummus.
Yeah. Joey does this thing where he slaps his pants, which like doesn't seem to return in other French episodes. It's always been like uncharacteristic for me that he does that.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that.
That
before.
has always stuck out to me. Ross is checking his watch, but anyhow.
Oh! Richard's about to leave the message.
Oh, I forgot about that plot line. Yeah.
Monica's ex-boyfriend.
Is this the Breezy episode?
Yeah, this is the Breezy.
This is the best episode ever.
Breezy. I know.
I'm Breezy. They're listening.
Richard just said, "Hi, it's me. Call me or whatever." And she doesn't know if the message is old or new, and they have broken up not too long before this.
Classic.
And now she's not going to get ready because she's freaking out about the message, and Ross is dying.
Hardcore fans will note that later on, Chandler sometimes has a little bit of a problem with Richard being in her past, and tries to grow a mustache even while hanging out with Richard later in the seasons.
Well, no, that's earlier in the season.
Oh, crap.
When she's dating. I mean,
that's earlier than season 3?
Yeah, when
right.
she's dating him.
He doesn't try to grow a mustache after she dates him.
It's like him and Joey like picked a characteristic each. Mm-hmm. I think. Was Joey like smoking cigars or something?
Joey had a cigar, and Chandler had. You know what? When I was younger, I thought the later seasons were so good, but now I'm seeing that some of these.
I know some of the earlier ones are really funny.
And there's a rule.
Oh no, the hummus.
Oh, she got hummus on her dress.
Hummus, I got the hummus.
Sorry, Phoebe. What gets out hummus? What gets out hummus? That's Ross. He starts clapping his hand. What gets out hummus? One of the most memorable lines.
And then Monica's like, Monica doesn't care.
Yeah, she's thinking about Richard and the message because they had recently broken up.
Oh boy.
Phoebe says something sarcastic that I used to hate in my childhood, but now think she's awesome.
And they're all saying, no, she shouldn't call him back.
Don't call Richard back. She's going to call him back.
She's probably going to call him back and be really breezy.
Mm-hmm. Now Chandler sits on Joey's lap, trying to force him out of the chair. He says, I am so comfortable. He might as well say, could I be any more comfortable? And, just that kind of sarcasm.
Could I be?
Classic Chandler. He's so fun. See, Chandler's the more sarcastic.
And I think there was some sort of, like, homophobic joke there. When
it's not that they're, like... like outwardly offensive, but old 90s sitcoms have these kind of jokes
A lot of very
sprinkled in.
sexist, very
Yeah, just like little things that
very
you don't really
homophobic.
fault them for the time, but
Like,
you're kind of like,
when you look back, you're like, they hugged and they were like, oh, like two men just hugged.
That
like
one-
as if that's
yeah.
like so gay.
remember later on when Joey and Ross take a nap together, was it, or somebody?
Yeah.
And they all just stare at him and judge him for like an hour at the end of the episode or whatever.
Wait.
They're just like, what are you two doing?
And they judged themselves too. And then but
they got
it
all
was like
freaked
a
out.
super comfortable nap.
What you didn't see is that
This light vodka
Joey
smells
and
weird.
Ross ended up having sex. They wrote that out. But yeah, there's
Oh,
lots
she
of shows.
she just said she left a casual breezy message. It's the breezy part.
How could it not be breezy? You're such in such a breezy place. I will play my messages
Oh yeah,
for you
and then
guys.
she
and you
taps
can tell me
into
if it's
into his machine.
How are you going to do that? I know the code to his answering
Dude, remember
machine.
answering machines?
Yeah, dude.
I remember them in high school. I don't really ever remember them after 2001, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
Because that's when we got cell phones, but like
And you people listening in the future, because this is timeless, you remember cell phones? Classic. So leave
okay,
a
so
message.
she's listening to her message,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's. Oh, that's where he's like, "Please pass the pie."
Joey thinks that somebody actively says the answering machine.
Like,
like little
you have
voice.
2 new messages.
Yeah. He's like, what a cool job that would be if I worked in the answering machine type of joke.
Oh, here it is when she's like, she says, "Breezy."
So just let me know, or don't, whatever. I'm breezy.
How many times have we said that in our lives?
Over and over. Thousands.
I'm breezy.
Thousands. Millions, maybe.
Totally negates the breezy.
Yeah,
Can't
so-
say you're breezy.
She says she's breezy. You guys get it. You've seen this episode. What we're saying
Oh, and
is,
then
call me about this weekend.
and
Another
then
woman
and
is on the
another
message.
woman leaves the message,
So she broke up
and
with
Joey
him.
said, "Now she sounded breezy."
Yeah, classic button to the first act. He's seeing someone. I can't believe it. Wow, these people really spell the story out for us, don't they?
So, literally, this podcast is like just how we watch sitcoms together.
Yeah, this is like we're narrating it like you, listeners. You think it's for your benefit, but we would be doing this anyways.
Yeah,
we
do
just
this-
sit
we do
here and
this-
say, "Oh, you think he's gonna end up with her?" over and over again. Like I was at a movie or theater for a couple friends' weddings. Friends, not like the TV show. Dave Milchick and Danielle, and I was with Mindy, listeners. And we were watching a movie because they showed old movies at this wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And we just sat there and narrated The Bride of
Oh
Frankenstein.
my god, we did, and I laughed so hard.
We were just being so stupid. We were like, no. Everything works out, right? This guy, nobody thinks he's a monster. They just accept him for who he is. And we just sit there and do that. So, listeners, I apologize. Back to the show.
Oh, we just missed in the words of A.A. Milne, get out of
my
the chair, dill hole.
Yeah.
Which is like also one of my favorite Friends lines ever.
Right. Joey
This
picks
episode
up,
is so good.
Yeah. Joey picks up the cushions, starts to take it.
It's the essence of the chair. He took
Mm-hmm.
the essence.
Chandler accuses him.
Oh, I
He'll be
forgot
okay.
that Chandler was like dressed at this point. Mm-hmm. So that's
At
good.
least somebody knows what Ross is talking
Oh,
about.
here comes Ross and Rachel fighting about.
She's mad that he won't let her be late.
I mean,
I'm on Ross's side. I don't know why. I don't even like him.
she ends up being ready in time, though.
Yeah, but who can trust her?
I can. I
don't
trust
know.
her.
I don't know about her. I mean, I love Ross and Rachel, don't get me wrong.
They were on a break.
They were on a break. I'm with Ross on that one. They
No,
were on
I'm actually not.
I'm not. Maybe,
Are you really with Ross on that? Like,
I don't
if you and
know.
Ellen were on a break
I'm,
and she slept with someone else, you'd be fine with it.
no, I'm not with Ross.
He slept with someone else, by the way, like 3 hours later.
That's true. I always felt for him during the time I watched it when I was younger because it was more like cut and dried rules then because I hadn't been in a relationship. But if I watched it again, I'd probably feel for Rachel.
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's a good point. Because
honestly,
in my head, I
because
was
the
like,
reason-
those are the rules. Ross is right. You know, very man-like.
Yeah, I mean, and
But I was a kid, too, so I was just like, well, yeah, Ross is right. You know, I
he
didn't...
totally was in the.
Yeah.
But also, the reason that they took a break is because he was being psychotic about that person that she worked with, nothing was going on with them. Remember?
That's right.
And he was all crazy about her working in a career that she was very passionate about and driving her crazy, and he's the worst. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to disagree. So,
I
anyways,
guess it's fine that they
Chandler's...
ended up together, but like,
Hashtag Ross and Rachel. Chandler stole Joey's underwear. So Joey leaves the room, stole Joey's underwear in order to keep him from the chair or something. And Joey says, I'm going to do the exact opposite of stealing your underwear, and walks away. Anyways,
so,
Phoebe comes out.
I wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah, right? They'll probably
What do you think
resolve
he's going to do? Yeah, it's probably going to
I think he'll come back in and be like, I'm sorry.
and be dressed
Mm-hmm.
and ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, the little dinosaur on Ross's watch is about to stop working.
Oh, I forgot about this. So this is an interesting thing because, the dinosaur tail isn't going around anymore. Oh, Ross is
Like,
the worst.
ha ha ha, paleontologists are nerds.
Ross is the worst when it comes down to like him trying to be cute.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Okay, he's about to yell at Rachel right
Yeah.
here.
Rightly so.
No! Plus, I hate this because it's very, like, 90s and it's very sexist. And it's all like, oh, the girl is, like, not ready because she has to look pretty. And, you know, like, I just hate that they, like, made her kind of look like an asshole. Because that's supposed to be, like, typical. But I get ready faster than anyone I know.
I'm
I
watching
get ready
him yell at
faster.
her right now. Him yelling at her is okay with me, people get in fights, but the way he just threw her shoes was kind of messed
Yeah,
up.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The way he yelled.
The way he yelled. He
Not
was like,
that he yelled,
he was like,
in my opinion, but
he's
the
like,
way he
I
yelled.
don't care. Like, and here's Monica.
All right. Well, Ross is a jerk.
I think you've gone over to the bad place. Is another one of my
Great, yeah.
favorite Friends lines.
That's good. Chandler has some really good ones in early seasons.
Okay, so Monica has seemingly resolved the issue and found out that was actually Richard's.
This is the last we'll hear of
sister.
it, right?
This is the last we're going to hear.
Yeah,
I think she
she's
figured it out.
over him. She's over him.
Everyone's going to get ready. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a big deal.
No.
Oh, no. It looks like his sister called back.
And she's finding out who called. It's Michelle. And she's calling for Monica. The caller ID must have busted him.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Monica, maybe you should get on his Facebook and just check out if his relationship status has changed or see who posted on his wall.
MySpace,
God, get on his MySpace.
His Friendster.
Take him out of your top 8 if you're going to get serious about it.
I was never on Friendster, were you?
No.
That was the thing, though, right? Mm-hmm. Was it like?
With the show? No.
No.
I was on Seinfeldster. No, I never even saw it. I don't know what it was like. Kind of reminded me of LinkedIn.
Oh.
From what little I perceived.
Okay. Wait, what are they talking about? Oh.
Well,
so now she's talking to Richard's sister and told her what she did, that she beeped into his machine and they're fighting, and she's definitely going to tell Richard what happened.
Yeah, which is, this might be the most boring plot line, but it's still hilarious. It's still really, like, the breezy part holds it all together.
The breezy part is what did it.
But otherwise, this kind of only exists so that they can, like, feed into the other more interesting stories.
And it also is, like, the reason she's not getting ready.
It's like, yeah. It feeds in.
Everybody
well.
has, like...
But everybody else's
like,
story is, like, more goofy
even
and
Phoebe,
punchline-y.
who was ready, got the hummus.
Right. She at least had, a wacky, like,
Oh,
physical...
no, here comes Rachel.
Rachel has a sweatshirt on.
She's wearing her Nick sweatshirt and her pajama pants. She is pissed.
I know it says black tie optional, but this may be pushing it a little.
She's going to catch up on her correspondence.
Oh, God, that's a weird line, but it's funny.
That's what she says.
Yeah, no,
what
I
does
know.
that even... She's going to...
Letters and
Like,
stuff.
I know,
Yeah.
but, like...
But what is it? Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
when
It's a
do they
90s
catch up
thing.
on their correspondence on this?
My mom still has a little...
Oh, she said she's
Book.
not going to go. So I think that will accomplish the not going.
She is cold. Oh, that's cold. Just out of curiosity. Well, ever since I was humiliated and yelled at in front of my friends, fair point, Rachel.
I'm not really in a museum benefit-y kind of mood.
Man, they write some good lines for her in this episode. She usually doesn't, like, pop this much, but she's funny in this one.
And she's like, it's fine, I'm not mad, I'm just not going.
When she is mad.
And then he says, sweetie, I love you. And she's like, mm-hmm. She's pissed. But she keeps
Saying
being...
she's not.
She's doing that girl thing.
No, I think she's okay.
No,
She said she was okay.
She said she's fine.
She's just simply not
so
going.
He's like, so we're okay. Yeah.
And Ross says, so
And he
we're
says-
okay? She says,
He's like-
which means totally.
I love this part. He's like, I love you. And she's like, no.
She moved her head
She moved
away
her head. She
when he
did
tried
not
to
kiss
kiss her.
him.
Oh, Rachel.
Oh, and Phoebe just came out of the bedroom with a phone
Sorry, I was
Like-
so loud with that.
What were you loud with?
I'm glad you didn't hear it.
I'll hear it when I listen to this later.
Yeah. Joey bursts in wearing everything Chandler owns. Okay,
That would
buddy.
actually be a pretty funny Halloween costume.
Yeah, dude. Here it is. You hide my clothes. I'm wearing everything you own.
Oh my god. That is so not the opposite
of me stealing your underwear. Listeners will note taking somebody's underwear. Sorry, we got it wrong.
Look at me. I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Best line in the whole thing.
Maybe if
Better
I wasn't
than I'm
going,
breezy.
Commando.
I hope I don't do any lunges or whatever.
Hot with all this stuff on.
Listeners who pressed play at the time we did will note that Mindy and I know lots of words from this episode before they happen because we are in fact losers.
Oh man, Ross is telling them they can't come to the party.
Classic.
Because the one person he wanted to come isn't even going anymore. That's what he's going to say.
So the way this episode probably ends is where no one goes except Ross, correct?
Listen, I think Ross is about to make a grand gesture that might save
I don't
the
think
episode.
so. No.
He's just gonna go without her.
He's just going to go without her.
I think he's going to make a grand gesture. Like, why is there a glass of fat sitting on the...
So, listeners, spoiler alert, Ross is going to drink, well, he's about to, anyways, drink the fat.
Oh, and she's like, no, wait a minute. That actually sounds interesting.
Joey gets excited.
She thinks he should drink the fat.
Yay! So Joey's excited because now the challenge is if Ross drinks the fat, he proves his love, shows he's sorry for yelling, and Rachel goes to the benefit.
I don't think that's how it's going to work out.
Nope. He will not drink the fat.
Won't
And if he
drink the fat.
does,
She's not going to go.
she'll just not go it. Anyways. I love that she thinks it's so
What?
horrifying that he would drink it.
I know, and like such a romantic gesture.
Okay, vanilla milkshake. Just a vanilla milkshake with chicken bits. Great, Ross. Love your acting.
I actually bet drinking the fat would taste good.
Classic. I know. It would.
I'd drink the fat.
Just a vanilla milkshake. That's all it is.
Oh, he drank the fat.
But he didn't.
You were going to drink the fat.
He.
Oh, everything's okay now.
I will acknowledge that David Schwimmer is the worst actor out of all of them by like a lot.
But I think he's like kind of also the funniest.
But he's got the best jokes sometimes because
Yeah,
he writes
they write
episodes
really good
and
jokes
stuff.
for him.
Yeah, and he writes his
Who do you
own
think
episodes.
is the
and
best
stuff.
actor on the show?
Who's really good? I'd have to say Courtney Cox. I mean,
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but she just is the most convincing person.
Really annoys me in the later seasons, though. With her.
Absolutely, I'm with you, and I think they
In the
wrote her
earlier
that way. Mm-hmm.
seasons, she didn't annoy me as much, but in the later seasons, she like.
But I think they wrote her that way because she's a little
Oh
bit
no,
like that in
she's
real
about
life.
to.
Oh man,
She's about to change Richard's message.
message
accidentally.
erased, but she erases the actual message they're supposed to be
She
like
thinks
from
she's.
the
She thinks she's
owner.
leaving him a message, but what she's actually doing is like changing
his outgoing message. Yeah.
message.
Classic.
Plus, she says
sitcom
something about
mix-up.
getting her period.
Maybe I'm getting my period or something.
Oh boy.
It's kind of funny because it's a classic sitcom mix-up involving landline phones. Nobody can stay up to date. Obviously, I'm not going to poke fun at the time this was recorded, but there have been other sitcom podcasts that point out the hilarity of like phones being half the plot. And
You know what
Seinfeld
I always
phones.
notice, and maybe you can see there's like a water bottle on the table, how much bigger the water bottle caps were.
Caps were, yeah.
I noticed that like a lot in old sitcoms.
Somebody was like, "Hey, they'll." Why did they make them smaller?
To save plastic.
Oh, that's right.
For like the environment. And then remember how thick the plastic was,
Yeah.
and now it's like you can,
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
it's like really thin plastic.
I barely remember that changing now, and it did. She can't get
Oh,
the message
she's
back. Oh
freaking
my
out.
god. Anyways, Ross is like, let's go. And no
He's got
people
two
got
cabs
a cab.
and no people.
Classic Ross.
Oh, poor Monica. This is a tough time for her.
Yeah, this is tough.
I don't think she's ever gonna find love.
Nope. They don't know that we know that they know. But Courtney Cox is.
Oh damn, Jan.
Rachel comes out and she's wearing a dress.
And what else do you think?
It's gorgeous.
And she's going commando too.
Oh yeah, I'm not not saying that's not hot. I was going to say, I'm not saying that kiss between Ross and Rachel was hot, but if the boner police are in town, I demand a lawyer. That's from Hot Rod.
Is this the worst podcast you've ever done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I quoted Hot Rod in speaking of the sitcom Friends. And the door closes, they're out.
And that's
They're on to the benefit.
So they just did the whole thing in one room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then
Here's the part where somebody takes Chandler's chair at the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny.
which I'm on Chandler's side here.
Oh, they left the chair area.
No.
I mean, no, that's the other guy's side. I just can't stop thinking of his quote.
Oh, God.
You're kind of sitting on my seat. What do you mean, your seat? You left the chair area.
Like, that was his seat, though.
Yeah, the guy just sat
like,
down in
It was
his
like
seat.
a benefit, you know.
But I never left the room.
But you left the chair area.
And why would anyone go sit with all his friends?
All right, that's it. Give me your underwear. That's
that's a
how
good
the episode
line.
ends.
Yeah. Okay, so that was awesome. So, listeners, thanks for listening along with us. We'll just recap and wrap up.
Listeners, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that. At least we picked a good episode of something, right? I mean, you guys were cool with it. But anyhow, Mindy, after watching that, what do you think? Like, we kind of watched some charming interaction between Ross and Rachel. Did you get swayed at all? Or were you just like, no, Joey and Rachel?
No, I actually just recently rewatched, like, the last few seasons for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, when winter comes, I get, like, depressed, and Friends always cheers me up. So I watched and I just, like, watched it, like, through till the end. From, like, I don't know, maybe, like, season 6 or 7. And
Are they a bit more charming in those seasons?
No. They're so annoying to each other, and in those seasons it's when you see, like, Joey and Rachel, and it's so cute because he falls in love with her, and he tells her, and they're, like, best friends, and then she falls for him, and then they finally get together in Barbados, but, like, it never happens because the writers hate me. And I will say this because you can totally compare Friends and How I Met Your Mother. I love that How I Met Your Mother, like, took it a little bit farther, and, like, a couple people in the group did sleep together. Like, I think they were just too afraid to let that happen. But, like, in real life, they totally would have slept together, Joey and Rachel.
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
sure.
they were living together, they were roommates, and they were dating, and they, like, didn't
you're right.
sleep together, and that always really annoyed me because I'm like, oh, come on.
That would probably be
That's
very
just, like,
probable.
not a thing that would happen.
Very
Like,
probable. Yeah, I see.
You know.
You're right.
but
So
yes,
are you more mad
but
that
yes.
they didn't just have their moment in the sun?
Yeah.
It's not so much like they should have been long term. It's just that they should have, like, actually
Yeah.
played that storyline out.
They
That's
should've.
just fair.
And I liked, I did like how Friends ended, and I was ultimately happy
Right.
to see Ross and Rachel together. Like, they had the baby, and, like, you know, they always loved each other and all that happy crap, but I just don't think life is that easy.
Easy. Yeah, but Ross and Rachel made it rough and weird.
Yeah, because they're stupid idiots, but, like, you
You
know,
have it both ways.
I know.
You're like, life is easy, Ross and Rachel. And then you're like, God, their life's so easy, Ross and
I don't
Rachel.
think that their life is easy, but, like, I feel like they made it a lot harder than it had to be for the
And then
sake-
all of a sudden wrapped it up with a
then
nice
all of a
little
sudden,
bow.
like, yeah, it was just, and it was
I
very
see what you're
sudden.
saying.
Even in the last season, like, it was very all of a sudden, like, they've always loved each other.
That was.
You know, like, I don't know. I don't think it's that hard in real life to be like, hey, I'm in love with you. Yeah, I'm in love with
I'm
you too.
totally with you there. They were
so
stupid,
stupid.
like that. Like all those episodes where Ross was dating the chick from Talk Soup or whatever, and she was like, or whatever show she was from before. But
I have no idea what you're talking about.
you know when he makes margaritas, he's like, "Ee."
That's such a good. That's
Yeah.
another really good episode when he's like, I'm fine.
Yeah, all those freakouts Ross has. To your point, where he can't just be like, "I care about you, Rachel." You
Yeah.
know, it's just horrifyingly sitcom.
It's so stupid.
Even
like,
for a sitcom, it's too sitcom.
Yeah. But I guess I'm glad they ended up together because you can't help but be glad they ended up together. And when I was younger, I would have never probably said, well, no, when I was younger and I was watching the show while it was on, I was like, oh my God, Joey and Rachel, because I thought it was so sweet. Like, I thought it was so cute. And then I was like, you know, and then ultimately I was like, okay, yeah, Ross and Rachel, whatever. But as I got older, I was like, what the hell? They really cheated me on the Joey and Rachel thing.
They should have at least played it out for us.
And I think it's-
season of them in a real
Yeah,
relationship.
and especially
Okay.
after How I Met Your Mother, where, like, Robin dates both Ted and Barney, and I loved both of those relationships, and I loved the way that show ended, even though a lot of people didn't, but I felt like it was more realistic, so I guess that's my issue, is that, like, I just don't feel like life is that simple. Like, I definitely think Rachel and Joey would have slept together in real life, and probably would have further complicated things with her and Ross,
Yes, yeah.
and it was just like, oh no, they're too good of friends to, like, take each other's clothes off, and that
Them
was the end
playing
of
it
it.
out would have
and
been
then,
good.
and then, like, there was no awkwardness even after that. Like, they were just like buddies again.
And watching that in context of the show now back to back really doesn't hold well, because you could tell at the time a lot of us, Mindy included, and friends of ours, watched these sitcoms on these little cliffhangers where they'd be like, coming up next, Joey and Rachel, do they or don't they? Like they that, and then you years later, without the promo and without the hype, you watch and you're like, oh, these empty episodes of Joey and Rachel.
I know.
Like, it's like the Yellow Umbrella, How I Met Your Mother moments where you're just kind of like, they just totally teased me. And it's not all bad, obviously.
No, it's not all bad. And I will say How I Met Your Mother, I think, was a lot more... The ending ends up being a lot more enjoyable.
I liked the ending. I didn't really care about the relationships, but I agree with you on the ending.
I love the ending, but I think the ending makes more sense if you sit down and, like, watch it from beginning to end instead of, like, having watched it... in pieces over the years, because you kind of like realize how much it is about, the person that he talks about a lot. In case people haven't watched it and don't know how it ends.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like it makes people more angry. But it's like, well, that actually made a lot of sense the way they ended it. But anyways, I'm drinking and I'm getting off topic. Was that my phone? Wonder who it is. Maybe it's Joey.
Yeah, probably. So listeners, long and short, when we watch these sitcoms, we put a lot of our own lives into them and have a good time kind of analyzing them and being sarcastic and watching them. So we hope you had a good time.
And we definitely put our own lives into them a lot.
Big time,
which is
yeah.
Funny.
And I don't know why I'm such an advocate for like arguing and fighting. Everybody I know argues and fights with me, which points to only one thing: I'm the problem.
I have my own problems in that I like to keep the peace and I like to push my feelings down and just get along instead of say how I really feel.
Which makes for good commentary and good balance. So thanks for listening to Friends Watching Friends. And if you guys love what you're hearing here and you want more, make sure you go to bullskit.com, check out some comedy skits, or go to thirdclass.net if you like the music. Signing off, this is Lee Boyle.
And Mindy Strawn.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Look, Mom, we're on a podcast.
God, that was stupid. I'm sorry.
This is Jimmy Martin from the Speaking of Music show at YouTube. Thanks for listening to the Nursery Podcast.